going on? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants, here to talk about a Giants victory. Another Giants victory. Giants 20, Bears 12. Not a pretty one, but we're 3-1. And coaching really does matter. I'm very happy with the coaching in this game to lead the Giants to their third win in 4 games of this season. It always feels good to win. You could call it an ugly win, which is fair, but winning is winning. That's all that matters in the NFL. We'll start with the quarterback, though. Daniel Jones looked like he sprained his ankle. Obviously, re-entered the game. We'll talk about that. He missed 2 games in 2019 with that, so they couldn't throw the ball when he was put back in. Tyrod Taylor comes into the game, throws a pick, has a nice spin move, and then gets concussed. So I don't think he's going to play next week. I don't know where I fall on is Tyrod Taylor, was it bad for him to go for that play? Because it's like that. You got 3 points out of that drive. You don't if Tyrod Taylor doesn't go for it. But also, you're the backup QB. You have the lead. And we can't afford for you to get injured. But nonetheless, they get the first down. End up winning the game. As far as Daniel Jones' play, went 8 for 13, 71 yards. I think we'll probably be the 31st passing offense in the NFL after this game. And the Bears will be the 32nd. Also had that defensive pass interference on the Slayton drop. But his legs are what did it for the Giants today. 6 carries for 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. Basically, every good passing play or Daniel Jones run was off play action, like under center boot play action. Kafka just does not trust the offensive to run a straight drop back game, and it really, really does show. He doesn't trust the offensive line to protect, and the wide receiver group is just really bad. Like Slayton led the wide receiver group with 1 catch for 11 yards. He was the leading wide receiver on the day. Kenny Galladay gets shut out today in back-to-back weeks. David Sills had a drop. His 1 catch for 5 yards was short of the sticks where he tried to turn sideways instead of just moving backwards. Like, just bad. Like, they just can't trust this wide receiver room, and then with the offensive line to pair with it, they just don't trust it. And I'm sure there's some stuff there with Daniel Jones too. But as far as Daniel Jones today, like, he played well. There wasn't, mostly on the ground, but when he did throw the ball, it was mostly those boot play actions, so nothing special. They had that David Sills catch called back for illegal formation, but that was a really good throw. So I guess Sills maybe had a better game than that stat looks, but still not great. But the heart behind this Giants offense is Saquon Barkley. He continues to dominate. He created points going from 0 to 7 points on that third down screen where Daniel Jones was the lead blocker. I mean, breaks a tackle, reverses field, and then falls the Daniel Jones block. If he gets tackled when he catches that ball, the Giants aren't probably going to make a field goal there. They end up scoring on that drive, so you take 0 points to 7 points. That's huge. He had 31 carries for 146 yards and had 162 scrimmage yards after coming into the week as the NFL leader in scrimmage yards. So just good stuff, and he was able to still get yards at the end of the game when they knew that the Giants were not going to throw the ball. When Tyrod Taylor went out, they went into that Wildcat offense. They produced, I think, 18 yards after that. One was on a Matt Breida run, but nonetheless, because they respect Saquon Barkley and were able to get 3 points on the board. So he just looks awesome. Like, he's running decisive, hitting holes, and just has the burst to be the special player that he is. Like, the Giants are not a 3-1 team without Saquon Barkley. We're not a 3-1 team without his 142 yards per game this season. So very proud of Saquon, putting the team on his back, and continue to feed him the ball. The Giants are gonna have to win through Saquon Barkley if they continue to do it. Don't have a full analysis on the O-line. I know Evan Neal left the game. I think he came back in. But here's what I will say: Andrew Thomas just dominated Robert Quinn. Down after down after down. I mean, it was an every down basis that Andrew Thomas was dominating, just putting his ass in the dirt. So if you're a certain O-line expert and you want to make Laramie Tunsil your offensive tackle one for his matchup with Robert Quinn, well, let's see what you have to say this week, because Andrew Thomas is starting to get the respect he deserves. I think had his best game of the year versus a guy who set the Bears single season sack record last year. So just continuing to be that dude in Andrew Thomas. On the defensive side of the game, the best player in this game, and I think he's been the best player for the Giants defense this season, but the stats didn't back it up through the first 3 games, Dexter Lawrence, man. He's been the Giants' best pass rusher all season long, and today he finally had the stats to back it up. He had 2 sacks, a tackle for a loss, 3 QB hits, and 5 tackles. Like, he's been winning play after play, whether it's in the pass game or the run game, but because of the position he plays, you don't see the stats unless you're an Aaron Donald type, or you run into some games where QBs don't get rid of the ball, and they didn't have edge production as pass rushers the first two and a half games, I would say. So Dexter Lawrence deserves respect, and he is going to be someone that the Giants probably should look to extend this offseason. They picked up the fifth-year option on him, so you buy some time, but that is a player that the Giants should look to extend. Like, he's always been a pretty good player. This year, he's taken a step forward, and that was our call for Dexter Lawrence this year, is that we can't have you just be a pretty good player. You got to take a step forward and be an awesome player, and that's what he's been this season. Azeez Ojulari had a strip sack, left the game with an injury, calf injury, I guess. So I guess it wasn't the same leg from before. Kayvon made some nice plays. I got to go watch him directly, but he made some good plays. Obviously, you don't want him hitting, Justin Fields and getting that 15-yard penalty, but that is what it is. Another guy who made a difference on this defense, Jalen Smith. He makes the run defense so much better. He allowed Tay Crowder to play freer. He played his gap fast and physical. That's what Tay Crowder or Jalen Smith does. He plays fast and physical. He had the tackle for a loss on the screenplay, and it makes players around you better when you don't have guys not playing their gaps or are slow to react. Tay Crowder had 11 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, and 2 QB hits. The pass rush stuff isn't anything special, but like just playing the run, he looked good, even though there were some coverage plays that he didn't get taken advantage of, but he could have been. Justin Fields missed Darnell Mooney, who was wide open for a touchdown on the seam. I'm pretty sure Tay Crowder was supposed to carry the middle of the field on that. But nonetheless, he played fast and physical in the run game. It looked like Wink Martindale played a little more too high looks, and Fields is just a bad QB at this point. But his legs extended drives, which the Giants hadn't faced this season. So that was really the Bears' offense today, was Justin Fields scrambling. But coming into this game, it's like, well, kind of force Justin Fields to make decisions instead of make throws, because he can make all the throws. I mean, you saw the throw to Darnell Mooney versus Adoree Jackson, which I think might be Adoree Jackson's first deep ball he's given up as a New York Giant. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was a beautiful throw. So Jalen Fields, I was thinking of Justin Fields. He can make some plays, but got to force him to read, and that led to sacks, that led to incompletions, and he completed less than 50% of his passes. So, and then special teams suck. Besides that punt at the end where they fumbled the ball, the special teams was just horrible. Put 3 points on the board for the Giants after a Dexter Lawrence sack, or 3 points on the board for the Bears. So, like and subscribe to the channel. I'm supposed to ask you that stuff at the beginning, and I forgot. So make sure you do it now. So appreciate you. We'll have a podcast out in the morning. O-line report this week, film analysis, film review. We'll have everything. So we appreciate you guys. See you when you see you. Let's go Big Blue.